Alright YouTube, so I got a bit of news for you PlayStation gamers out there, and it has to do with the kind of like a release window, sort of, for the PlayStation 5, and somewhat the death of the PS4, if you want to call it that. So during Sony's recent Investor Relations Day, the Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO, John Kodera, mentioned when they're going to really kind of start on the next generation of PlayStation consoles, so let's get into it. So this story kind of came out from a Wall Street Journal article, which we can't really look at because it costs money to look at Wall Street Journal articles, so we're going to fuck off with that website and go to a different article. So the article we are going to look at comes to us from Screen Rant, which of course will be linked below as always. Those gamers who have long awaited the release of the PlayStation 5 will have to wait a while longer. Such is the official word from Sony Interactive Entertainment, who said it will be at least 3 years before development on the next generation gaming console is completed. Rumors were flying fast and furious earlier this year that Sony might be ready to preview the PlayStation 5 sometime in 2018. The flames were fueled by a list of leaked specifications for the system and reports on the microchip that would be used to power the system's central processor. When Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO John Kodera said that Sony's current console, the PlayStation 4, was coming to the end of its life cycle, many felt the news regarding the PlayStation 5's release date had to be on the horizon. It seems, however, that the rumors of the PlayStation 4's death have been greatly exaggerated. A report from Wall Street Journal regarding Kodera's comments on the PlayStation 5 during Sony's Investor Relations Day proved to be a bucket of water on the campfire speculation. Kodera said, "We will use the next 3 years to prepare the next step, to crouch down so that we can jump higher in the future." Kind of a weird way to phrase things, but it could be interpreted a couple different ways. The next 3 years could be used to build up how they're gonna market it, how they're gonna reveal it and release it and things. Or it could be interpreted a different way, like maybe the next 3 years are where they're really buckling down and finishing the PlayStation 5, which would probably mean that it's a little more than 3 years out, maybe 4 or 5 years out or something. It's very ambiguous. I just don't know what it means exactly. Kodera's further comments indicate a major paradigm shift at Sony Interactive Entertainment regarding how the company approaches the PlayStation line. Kodera claims that we're no longer in a time when you can think just about the console or just about the network like they're two different things. Kodera continued, explaining that a broader perspective was now required because so many things are now connected via the internet. So again, a little bit up to speculation. I don't exactly know what this means either, but he's mainly saying you can't just focus on building just the PlayStation 5 by itself and then worry about building up the PlayStation Network on the PlayStation 5. You kind of got to work on it all together because everything's connected to the internet these days. But I don't know how you really improve other than obviously better hard drives and all that shit inside the console to make the games bigger, better, and better graphics, all that shit. How do you improve gaming consoles? We can already do everything on there. We can stream from it. We can watch Netflix, YouTube, all that shit. You can watch the latest movies and TV shows on our console as long as you're willing to pay for it a little bit. You can do just about anything you want on your gaming console outside of actually gaming. We don't want another PlayStation Move. I don't want another Xbox Connect or something. We don't want all that bullshit. Just give us the ability to play fucking video games. I'm not saying that they're gonna change and do some crazy shit, but it just seems kind of weird. I don't know what he means by this. It's I just want to put a disc in my console or whatever and play a video game. If I can watch some Netflix on there, a little bit of YouTube, that's cool too. But I just want to play video games, bro. This would seem to fit with Sony's current tactics in the interactive entertainment market, where the PlayStation has come to dominate the console gaming space this generation so far. With the focus on working with other game development companies on games that are exclusively available on the PlayStation 4, such as God of War and the upcoming Spider-Man PS4, the company has outsold the primary rival, Microsoft's Xbox One. I die inside reading that. While this news will likely prove a disappointment to the legions of gamers hoping to see a PlayStation 5 in time for the holiday season this year, it seems unlikely that this will kill their enthusiasm. If anything, Kodera's comments seem likely to boost speculation, given earlier information leaks that this may all be a feint for a surprise release later this year. Unlikely as that may be, given the level of secrecy required at all levels of the company and various retailers for such a stunt, hopes remain high. A bit convoluted all around, but the main takeaway from all this is about 3 years. We got about 3 years left roughly on the PS4. That doesn't mean they'll stop making games for it if the PS5 comes out in 3 years, but that's kind of when they'll start progressing towards the PS5, of course, making games for that console. In about 3 years roughly, when we'll start seeing stuff for the PS5, maybe a release date, or maybe it is, like they said, it's all slight, and maybe we will see the PS5 this year. Maybe at E3 we'll get a fucking release date for the PS5. Who knows? You never really know with all this shit. This timeline of 3 years would actually kind of add up if you look at the console generations release dates in the past, because the 360 came out in 2005, PS3 came out in 2006, and then both of their next generation of consoles came out in 2013, which is roughly about 7 to 8 years later. 3 years from now, of course, would be 2021, which would put the PS4 at about, 7 to 8 years old, depending on the release date of if the PlayStation 5 were to come out in 2021. So it kind of adds up when you think about it. It's about 7 or 8 year life cycle for like the generation of consoles these days. And I think that that is a pretty good lifespan for a generation of consoles. It's nice to know if you're willing to hop into the next generation, spend the hundreds of dollars for whatever the new console is. It's nice to know that it's going to be supported for like 7+ years at least. Anyways, my dudes, that's the video. Let me know your thoughts below. To kind of reiterate it all, roughly 3 years. In about 3 years, as long as it's not all bullshit and they're just trying to throw the scent off the trail, roughly about 3 years till we start seeing shit for the PS5. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
50.20. Second place, Cody Bauer.